How do you ask? And how do you receive? And how does this help you become financially free? That is the question we're answering today. So, hello, fabulous female entrepreneurs that are out there. My name is Evie Diaz of evdiaz.com, and I am the expert on the simplest method of manifesting financial freedom, which I call the FAB money scripting method of manifesting. And today, I am going to be sharing with you how do we ask, how do we receive, and how does that help us to become financially free? Now, if this is your first time joining us, please make sure you introduce yourself somewhere there in the chat. Let us know where in the world you are. And also, let us know where you're watching from. Are you on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram? Please let us know. So perhaps by now you realize, if you didn't know me before, that I am a financial empowerment speaker and author. And if you like to say money manifesting master or manifester, you can say that too. I believe that we are always manifesting. And recently, I had the pleasure of going through our 5-day Ask and Receive Mini MoneyFesting Challenge. And today I have one of our Fabpreneurs members with me who just completed her Ask and Receive Mini MoneyFesting Challenge. And I want you to please help me welcome Shari as I bring her up to the stage, and make sure that if you have questions for either one of us, you post them right there in the chat. So let me go ahead and bring her up. Hello, Shari. How are you? You're muted. Yes, so go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, love. How are you? I have my friend, my little elf.
Oh, I like that. So why don't we begin by you sharing a little bit about you, introduce yourself, let
Okay.
people know how you help people, and why are you called the Angel of Vitality? So go ahead and
Oh,
please share that.
thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I actually was working with someone, and the question was, who am I, right? So, who do I identify with? And so I was like, you know what? Angel of Vitality. And so, what does that mean? So, I bring vitality to my clients, with my clients. So, I know without my health, I can't create my wealth. And without my wealth, how do I embrace my vitality? So, I work with women that are pre, mid, and postmenopausal. And what does that mean? That means that can happen at any age now due to all the foods that are laden with toxins and chemicals. And so there's just a lot that happens in the female body that is different than the male body. And what I like to say is I'm a personal cheerleader on that journey. And I use food, which is a lifestyle that I embrace from where my client is starting to whatever that end goal is. Or let's look at the end. What do I want to experience? How much vitality? And how do I bring that into play in my personal daily life? So that's food, that's frequency, and fun. Like if it's no fun, then it's stressful. So I make it simple, easy, and fun. And I have seen just great, let's see, what's the word? Great changes and great accomplishments and a sense of well-being, and my relationship with food and fitness increases. And to me, that's super important. Why? Because I went through my own personal journey as a kid. So now I'm ageless and I feel great and I'm full of vitality.
I love that. So you said so many things that are right on as far as my beliefs and are so aligned with me. First of all, angel, as I understand it, is a messenger. So you are a messenger of vitality. Vitality, as I understand it, means life and enjoying life. And it's all about that enjoyment. So
Yeah.
I totally love that you are an angel of vitality or a messenger of vitality and vibrancy and life and health as your greatest wealth. I totally agree with that. And I think that as we become one more year and as we continue in our lives getting younger and younger, we realize how important health is. And so I totally agree with you, Shari, that health is our greatest wealth and that we want to understand how we can take better care of our health and how we can manifest more
Mm.
and better health, which I believe, yes, we can manifest more and better health. So I'm excited because number one, you are our lifetime Fabpreneur member, and I'm so grateful because I manifested you, as I told you, because of your wonderful, positive, empowering energy. And so I'm so grateful that you're here with us today. And then, of course, today specifically, I am grateful, delighted, thankful that you said yes to showing up because I know that you're in your kitchen and I want people to understand what that is and where you are in just a second. And I wanted to share with people a little bit about your journey over the past 5 days as you decided to experience the Ask and Receive Mini MoneyFesting Challenge. Now, before we get into that, I want to go ahead and let people know what's your background in terms of literal background behind you
Oh,
and where you are so that people know why you are where you are.
okay. Thanks. So I'm actually in my kitchen in Brandon, Florida. It's a takeout or grab and go. And basically, I create vegan and raw foods. I don't have an oven, so I use either, an air fryer or a little grill to make my food. And everything is basically my creation. And I'll do cooked and raw. So that's fresh, organic as much as possible. I'm on the second floor in the building in Brandon, Florida. So I'm pretty easy to get to from Tampa and other surrounding areas. So I opened this 2 years ago. And my background is I have a degree in exercise physiology, and I was a massage therapist and a personal trainer. I've kind of brought all those pieces together as the angel of vitality. So and I'm a traveling chef, so I get to travel the globe and work with Dr. Graham and be a chef, and I'll do personal and corporate and catering. So anything that is like on the vector towards health.
I love it. I love it. Now, what's the best way for people to reach out if they want to reach out once they see this, either on the replay or once I share it on social media again, and or in my email newsletter, which is where this is going after we're
Okay.
done on this live stream. So, what's the best way? What's the website that people can connect with you?
Okay, so it's RawsomeLivingLLC.com. So that's RAWSOME living, because we're living, LLC.com. And then
So I'm
I'm
going to
on.
go ahead and put that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm going to go ahead and put that there
Okay.
in our chat, our public chat, so that anyone and everyone who
Oh,
sees this can click and actually check you out and
okay.
reach out to you. So go ahead and continue. What were you
Thank you.
saying?
So on Instagram, it's basically Rawsome Living LLC with an underscore. And like people just call my cell if they're in the area for food. So that's 801-824-2525. And that everything's on my website.
I love it. I love it. And I'm going to see if I can find your Instagram so I can share it there. Which, by
Okay.
the way, in the future, feel free always to have that available so you can copy and
Okay.
paste it
Okay.
anywhere and everywhere. And that's really for everyone because that is just good for networking, for being interviewed. I can't find it on Instagram, but I put there your website.
Oh, there's
So
a bunch of people in the chat. Awesome.
let me let me go ahead and ask you about your experience that ended on Monday when you did the
Okay.
5 day ask and receive challenge. I want to know a little bit in general, like what can you share about your experience about that?
Thanks for that wonderful question. So, number one, I'll say that Evie is so delightful to work with. She is vested in the growth of her client, and it's a one on one. So, there's other challenges out there. And, I like group um, challenges and programs, but I hadn't really experienced one on one with you at that time. And I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity, and I'm jumping in. And so the journaling, everything that you created um, is new. I mean, some of the framework I'm definitely familiar with, but your unique approach and your honesty and your integrity and your vested interest in my growth and the other women you work with really came through. And it was fun. Like, I was waking up like, oh, I get to see Evie's beautiful face. And,
Thank
you know,
you.
I get to have quality time with someone that cares about my growth so that I'm able to impact others as well. So that felt great. And just woman to woman, you know, there's just another beautiful connection in working with women. So there's other wonderful men out there. I'm just speaking for me. I've really switched that up. I remember at a time in my life, I felt that there was so much competition, and that was what I was hearing. And I made a choice in shifting that perspective. And ever since that, however many years it's been, so many amazing women have showed up. And I know that I was noticing more of you on my feed. And I'm like, I'm going to check this lady out. And you're in Miami, and it's been a delight. And I've been able to put things into practice. That's the biggie right there,
I
is the
love that.
personal attention, right? Um,
So let
and
me let
yes.
me let me just interrupt you to just say, because you mentioned that it is a one-on-one. Now I have stopped, unless you're a VIP, doing any one-on-one, and that means even
Oh, okay.
one-on-one connection. I usually invite women to come to our Thursdays, 4 p.m. Fabpreneurs Community Connections to get to know me. And last year during the summer, actually not last year, this year during the summer, I learned about this idea of what is now called the Tiny Challenge, which I call the Mini Challenge, which actually is powerful. And I'm going to be teaching our fabpreneurs more about it in 2026, because I find it to be a very powerful way to develop great relationships with people. And it is, when you join the Ask and Receive, you schedule 5 consecutive days to meet with me one on one for 15 to 30 minutes. You have a lesson that you go to on my website. You review the lesson, which is somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes. I'm actually
Right.
going through them again, because I
Okay.
may be cutting them shorter so that it doesn't take more than an hour between us meeting and you as a student completing them. And it is 5 consecutive days of that, which I advise solopreneurs, especially heart center female entrepreneurs like you and I, to really practice that. And that's why I'm going to be teaching about it, because instead of giving this 1 hour session, I think is so much better to do 5 mini sessions where you're not just trying to sell somebody. You're rather giving a lot of what you do and give in your big program. And if you're interested to find out more or joining us in 2026, just head on over to evds.com and reach out to me, or evds.com/ask dash receive. And I'm going to be more mindful, because I'm glad to let you know that one of the things that I'm launching in 2026 is my official podcast, which means that all of my recorded videos will be turned into podcasts, which means that when I share our URL, or when our guest speakers or get guest podcasters share a URL, we want to make sure that we let people know what it is, because they can't see. They can't see the monitor. So that's upcoming things. And now I just want to talk a little bit about this idea of the ask and receive. First of all, what did you specifically learn about asking? So, how do you feel about asking? And I want you to speak from the heart. If you still have some work to do, that's fine, because we always have some work to do.
Okay. So I feel that my asking level of confidence went from like a 5 to a 10 or a 5 to a 9. And even if I feel a little uncomfortableness or resist, whatever, I can just leap into the asking, right? And then the other part that you had talked about was the giving. I mentioned an area of my life that I'm giving and giving, and you said, well, maybe, meditate on that and come to a place where it feels really great to give. And that will shift the entire energy of me giving the money and knowing that there is a flow and that I will receive that money back. And I know when I paid for the course, the lifetime membership, like the next day or something, the money came back to me. And I was like, okay, that's a beautiful sign that I'm on track. And you have some tools in this course, like the check writing. And, I have it right on my phone. So every day I have, oh, yeah, that's coming to me through whatever resource. And then I've put it in different places. And then the journaling part of asking my heart's desire, like asking what is my own intention for the day, and asking and knowing that that is on its way or it's already there. I just need to be willing to receive it, right? And then the flow. So I feel more at ease, and I was on the phone with someone and asking her, so what is it that you're looking for? How may I support you? And then of course she asked me the same thing, and it was such a mutual flow in the conversation. It was so easy, and I'm like, oh, there was no feeling of being uncomfortable just in that, because in the past it might have been a challenge for me to say, how can I support you, or what are you looking for?
Yes.
And presenting it something, and oh, this is what I offer, and this is what I'm an expert in, and I'm grateful to share this because I know I can help people. So I'm sure you feel the same way in your gift. So how let's have that conversation.
Absolutely. And that's so important. So I want to give you, if you have a way on your phone or on how to take notes, I'm going to give you something that came to me this morning as I was practicing
Okay.
my FAB money scripting method this morning
Yes.
during my morning retreat. Now, for those of you that are not aware of some of the languages or the language or word that I use right now, the morning retreat is our sacred time in the morning for us to practice the FAB money scripting method. And yes, I call it a morning retreat because I want you to feel that you're going into a personal, private, spiritual, high level retreat. And the word retreat means that you're retreating, you're letting go, you're releasing, you're relaxing. And what you're releasing and relaxing is the monkey mind and the busyness of what is your to do list for the day. So that is why we call it the morning retreat. Secondly, I use the word practice for two reasons. Because practice means that you are consistently working on it so that you could become good. And also, the word practice kind of alleviates any kind of anxiety that I have to be an expert on it. And for me, it denotes a habit because you're consistently practicing a habit. And so that's why I use the words and the language that I use. Now, this morning, here's what came to me with the word ask. And it was really easy. And the word ask is ASK. And when you ask, here's what you're doing, what we're doing when we're asking. We are A, always, S, seeking, K, knowledge. So we're asking because we are always seeking knowledge. So when it is that we are practicing in the morning our FAB money scripting, asking falls on the second step, which is the action step. So the FAB money scripting method stands for feel, act, and be. And so asking falls in our actions. What are we going to do to accelerate the abundance that we want manifested. And so the asking or the action goes between the feeling and the being, and that's FAB. So when we're asking of ourselves, and that's why one of the methods that I teach in the actual 90-day abundance accelerator, which by the way is a precursor, I mean the ask and receive is a precursor to our full course, is that you write questions of yourself or of the universe. So when you write questions, you are asking. And the reason why you're doing that is because ASK, you are always seeking knowledge. So get good at asking your divine self, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, better and more questions when you're journaling and also with your clients. So many times when we are in the sales conversation, we want to vomit on people and tell them everything. What we really want to practice is the ask because we want to seek knowledge. And the knowledge we're seeking is to understand people. So keep that and tell me, what do you think about that? Ask, always seek knowledge.
I love it. I love it. It helps with a framework of why, right? And that's all positive. If I'm seeking knowledge and I'm seeking guidance from spirit, if that's my framework, then it's for me and for the other person, right? Yeah, why would I
Absolutely.
want to work with other people so I can help impact and so they can impact their people. So that's full flow.
I love it. I love it. The next word that I want you to know, there are two more words, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to go into the other words. But when I was journaling this morning, the other word that goes along with this, which we do speak about in the Abundance Accelerator, is believe and give. Now, in the 5 day, you get a little tasting, of what we actually dive into in the Abundance Accelerator. So there is an acronym that came to me for believe and give, which are all part of that circulation. If you think of money as circulating, and by the way, I'm going like this because this is the infinity sign,
Infinity. Yes.
which is the process. And by the way, which I have here on my right hand side, my husband put an infinity sign here on my wall, and is part of my evds.com logo, the sign. And then also
Oh, nice.
I am wearing the infinity sign because I love it. Now, the FAB money scripting, also, while I do not have a logo per se, a logo just came to me yesterday morning. I tried to create it myself, but it is part of the infinity
Oh,
sign, but it has a third little loop because FAB is three
right.
letters, an
Yes.
acronym that stands for feel, act, and be. The last thing I want to mention about the Ask and Receive Challenge is the acronym RECEIVE. So when I was writing this morning in my journal, which I do every day, in which even if you do not know how to practice the FAB money scripting, I'm going to give you two options for you as a listener or as a watcher out there when you watch this, is getting to the practice of doing traditional journaling, because traditional journaling allows you to become more aware, while traditional journaling by itself may not help you manifest. Okay. And that, of course, because so many people journal and not everybody who journals manifests, it does help to increase your awareness about who you are, who you've been, and perhaps even who you are becoming by what you write. So even if you are not ready because maybe you're not open and receptive to receiving right now, the FAB money scripting, I want to encourage you to do your traditional journaling because that will help you become aware. And one of the reasons people are not consciously manifesting these days is because they're not aware. And that may be because they're not practicing even traditional journaling. So you may want to do that if you're watching this. Now, receive. This morning, as I was practicing my FAB money scripting, I got letters first off the top of my head, and I just wrote them and I just decided to share them with you here. Receive. So receive is RECEIVE. And so Source gave me the acronym for that, receive. The meaning of the words is real, E for energy, consciously entering and inspiring your vibration eternally. That may change later as I think about this and say, what does receiving mean? But really, receiving is about this real energy because money is currency. And we talked about this process, like the infinity sign that I keep making here on the video of circulating. So there is real energy that is both giving and receiving in the process there, circulating when you are receiving. And then you want to do it consciously. You want to receive consciously because by so doing, you're experiencing that entering, inspiring vibration that's coming. It's a vibration. And the more that we become aware of that act of receiving, the more we will experience it and be in awe and be in thanksgiving and gratitude eternally, always. And we
Wow.
will produce more of it. Does that make sense?
Yes, and you know your name is in this word receive if you pick out.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. And that's a nice way to journal or just like you say using the recordings, right?
Mhm.
Is receiving. Oh, real energy, consciously entering inspiring vibrational eternally. Like if I were to repeat that for 30 days, like then I would remember it and I could be driving my car, I could be doing a little chant, right? Like these are stacking the habits, like atomic habits, which once it becomes that habit, then it's automatic. And then I
Exactly.
release something else as I brought in this new vibration. Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely. And you said it right. It is the practice or the habit, if you want to call it that. It is the practice that
Mhm.
will allow you to become a better receiver. Because here's the thing, a lot of women
Yep.
are not receiving because they don't feel good about the act of receiving. So the reason why I decided to create this is
Okay.
to empower women, especially heart-centered female entrepreneurs, to become better receivers. And so now I'm asking you, okay? So this kind of caught you by surprise. What did you ask for during the 5-day mini manifesting challenge? What did you ask for? Do you remember?
Number one was, I believe, more confidence. So I feel that for sure.
Good.
Um, and maybe, and I think I was asking for new tools for implementing, or what you just said for receiving. Yeah, like conscious, being more conscious in my day and my intention. And
You had a financial intention.
I did, yes. And so, yeah, my numbers went up during the week.
Okay, good. I like that. Now, I asked you that because we are a money manifesting group of heart centered female entrepreneurs. And I always like to track where people are and to find out. And this is an opportunity again to go back into the practice of the
Okay.
FAB money scripting and
Yes.
ask yourself, did I practice the way that Evie showed me? And if I didn't manifest, why didn't I manifest? Was it because I was not asking myself, like, what is the best way for me to ask? Was I seeking knowledge? Because realize this, that sometimes when we manifest, and we're always manifesting, we don't manifest precisely what we want and at that exact time.
Right.
And yet we always manifest. And so the reason why the FAB money scripting method works is because of the repetition of this consistency in your practice. Meaning, let's say you want to manifest $10,000 by the end of the year. So you continue practicing every morning, and if you can at night, How do you feel after you've manifested $10,000 before the end of the year? How do you feel when you manifested whatever amount you wanted? Then what are the actions? What are the actions that are aligned actions with me manifesting that? So, for example, one of the things that we practice, which we do also do in the abundance accelerator, is this check writing exercise. Okay,
Right.
because we want you to get used to writing bigger checks and writing checks, because once again, the circulation, right? And also we want you to become aware of what you're manifesting and why. So that's one of the exercises to train your reticular activating system to look for that check amount, whether it's 5, 10,000 a week, a month, a day, whatever it is. And start asking yourself, well, why do I want $10,000? Right?
Mm, yeah.
Why do I want to help 10 women, 5 women? Why do I want that? Right? Why do I want it? What will happen when I get this money? What will happen when this woman joins this program? And so ask yourself those questions and then write about, how do you feel? Well, how do I feel when someone joins my program? How do I feel when someone joins my team, like for you? How do I feel when someone eats my delicious food? So tell me, how do you feel when someone joins your team?
When someone joins my team, I'm excited. I'm looking forward for being a great role model, and I'm excited for their growth, for their symptoms going away, for their love of new food. So, yeah, it's rewarding, and then I get to pour into that person.
I love that. And so when that person pays you and you
Mhm.
receive that money, how do you feel?
I feel grateful. Like, yay, okay, they see my value, they see the worth, and then I continue to pour into them. Yeah.
So that's why writing in this way is so powerful, because number one, you're looking at your what we call financially free fatpreneur future self from a high vibe energy, which is that energy of gratitude and all those other expressive verbs that you just shared about how you feel. And then in the asking, because you are asking yourself, when you're journaling about why do you want it, how do I want it, what will happen as a result of me getting this money, what will happen as a result of this woman joining my team, of this woman eating my food or whatever, you are seeking more knowledge so that you can be an active participant in your money manifesting, in your manifestation. That's why the asking falls under the second step of the FAB, which is the action. And then the B. Who am I choosing to be today as I'm having this conversation with you? Today, I am feeling and acting and being like my financially free fatpreneur future self. Who am I choosing to show up as when I'm sharing this business opportunity to this
Yes.
woman?
Mm.
Who am I choosing to be when I'm sharing the benefits of this amazing food, healthy food? And how am I seeing the person in front of me, their life be transformed? Or how am I seeing them experiencing a breakthrough? Because now they know what it is to live a life filled with vitality. Because now they know that health is one of their greatest wealth. So you see where I'm going? So that is the being that you are being in that moment. And the more you practice being, that's where the neuroscience,
Okay.
Dr. James Doty, that I share on my Facebook, who was a neuroscientist, talking about um, what's that called, plasticity, the
The
plasticity
rewire, the
of the
rewiring.
brain. Yeah, that's what rewires your brain through neuroplasticity, because the repetition of this continuous way of journaling is what empowers your reticular activating system to look for the answers to your questions and to look for the manifestation of your intention.
Mm.
And that is why we manifest. So if you did not manifest what you wanted by the end of the 5 days, ask yourself the actions that I suggest for you is ask yourself more and better questions tomorrow morning, tonight. How was I feeling? How was I asking? How or
Mm.
who was I being when I offered this solution, this products, this service? Okay. How much more aligned can I be? Am I looking at just myself or am I looking at the benefit for the person? And, we have to understand, Shari, which you and I spoke about. For me, when someone goes through my program and I don't see them, my judgment, I will be, I'm a recovering judger. In my judgment, I'm saying, why are they still reverting back to their old self? And I want to say, well, are they not understanding the program? It's not our responsibility to worry about that stuff. Our responsibility is to become more aligned so they can see how you are the epitome of that thing that you're sharing or selling.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
that
love all the prompts. Like that's what I would say about the program. The prompts are, and you're going over it in detail and how powerful that is. And remembering, okay, yeah, I need to ask myself better questions. And this is all what do I want for my own alignment and growth, right? So then, yeah, so then someone says, wow, she's really a fabpreneur. Like she's working this, and we talked about practice, 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 practice.
absolutely. And then, of course, in business and for sales is the same thing. One of the things that I'm integrating now that I'm reviewing the Abundance Accelerator are the teachings of I'm just going to call him Dr. Phil Jones, and of course, our wonderful Manifest 2025 speaker that came in and talked to us about how to sell by asking better questions. And that's part of our Abundance Accelerator because it's not just about asking. Just like I just said, it's not about just journaling. It's about journaling in a certain way, which we call the FAB money scripting method. And the same thing in sales conversations. It's not just about now asking more questions, it's about asking better questions when we are having that one on one conversation. And so that's another aspect that I'm glad that Nicole Kramer came because I'm adding that into the 2026 version of the Abundance Accelerator because I continue to say, how else can this be a more powerful course so that more women experience bigger transformation? And that is the invitation for you. Go ahead.
Well, I'd like to add that you also shared that as you are offering these courses, it's beneficial for you and you're asking yourself the same questions. Like it's not like a one and done, right? Okay, I did this, I'm done. No, because manifesting is a continuation and accumulation and personal growth. And so just hearing you say that, yeah, that's rewarding too. Like, okay, she's on her journey, and as she improves, even as the expert, there's more to do. Like that's exciting. So then that
Exactly.
means I am the recipient of Evie's growth.
And guess what? Your clients and the people that come into your life are also the recipients of
Yes.
your growth.
Yeah. And I
They're
think that's
experiencing it.
a great circulation view. Like it's just not me and my client, but the growth of myself, that client, and her clients. Like how beautiful! Then that's just flowing. And you also said that circulation is like air, because like without breathing, without air, everything is dead. So just waking up in the morning and taking those deep breaths and grounding myself, and then spending time in that space, like you helped me anchor in a new a new action by journaling in my car, right? Because you asked, so when do you have time? When are you going to create the time? Where are you going? And instead of me making up an excuse, oh, it's that time of year, I'm so busy. No, you asked me a question and I'm going to say, okay, yeah, I can do this in my car with this amount of time. And then in the evening, I can go back like, okay, so I get to check whether I did that or not. Oh, that I need to continue this cycle of practice. So the onus is on me, not on Evie.
Absolutely. And that's such an important reminder for all of us as heart centered female entrepreneurs, because, of course, we have the biggest heart and we want to give, 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 and we want to put ourselves responsible. All we can do is put it out there. And
Right.
so I want you to reframe the way you think about the money circulation as round. This is my round diamond ring. And instead, see it as an infinity symbol,
Yeah.
because that is how it really circulates. It's going around and it's a ride and it's beautiful and it's infinity. It goes on and on and on. So there's plenty of money like air. It's always available. And so I want you to think about it that way. Is there any question that you have or last minute thought as we finish this today that you would like to share from your heart?
I just in you showing the circle versus that, like I was really feeling the energy of that, right? So a circle does go around and round, but or and is it actually stopping and then going, or is it growing? And then the flow of the infinity just feels different. And I was like, no, but a circle is great, right? That's awesome. That's still growth. That's still moving. But there's more to that infinity. And I like the flow because that's more energy allowing in that direction. And it's not just here or there, right? And it can be a huge infinity, right? And it's almost,
Yes.
and I can step into that like that's a protection for myself.
Yes.
That's just what came to me, like, ooh, because especially if someone is like empathic or very sensitive or what have it, um, and there needs to be some protection. That symbol is a godly symbol too. So
I love
em-
it.
embrace that. Yeah.
So I
So
want to leave you and I'm sorry, go ahead. You were going to say?
it's been a fun and continual, I've been practicing since we stopped or ended our one-on-one. And yeah, I just see the flow in it, right? So, and that was a fun free challenge for people, right? Like maybe they're
Mhm.
unaware that you are gifting this. There is a commitment, right? So
Mhm.
there's value. So if I and this is what I've learned over the last year is, in asking, is it asking for some commitment, partial commitment? Is there money? Like, what is it? And I know I've heard it for years and years. If I am unwilling to invest in myself and my own growth, whether it's monetary, whatever it is, I need to put that investment in and I'm worthy of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was just curious. On Monday or Tuesday, I think you were having a one-on-one session with somebody that you were going to collaborate with. How did that go? You said in our last call on Monday, you said that you were going to close someone on Monday. Remember,
Oh,
you
yes.
were
So
having
I
a
do.
conversation.
Yes, I do. She agreed. And now I'm creating the contract to send to
Yeah,
her. And then recently I've had people just show up and asking me about meal planning and do you work with this and that? And so, yeah, so the door has opened. So
so
it's
that's
like,
in process. You haven't closed her yet, or did you close her and you're just finalizing the?
I'm finalizing.
Okay, good. I just wanted to follow up because I remember you mentioned it on Monday morning.
Yes.
Good. So here, by the way, there's a lot of accountability that we do in our courses. Here are the questions that I want to leave you and anyone that watches this. the
Okay.
first question is, how do I write my money manifesting intentions? Because that has a lot to do with what you manifest. And that's one of the things that I teach in our Abundance Accelerator. How do you write money manifesting intentions? Because there's a certain way of writing it that helps you align more with that energy of manifesting. The second question that I want you to really kind of go out and journal today is, how do I ask for the sale? So, because one of the things that we teach is how to ask for the sale with confidence. So, how are you asking for the sale? Which we went a little bit when we were talking in terms of your alignment, in terms of your feelings. So, we want to go and journal about that. How am I asking for the sale? How am I feeling? Am I feeling not confident, or am I feeling confident? Am I feeling like, I'm being pushy? So that's a good question to ask yourself in your journaling. And then the last question, because I wanted to go over this and I know we've gone over time, is how can I consciously choose to feel, act, and be like a money manifester right now? In other words, who do I have to show up as to be that money manifesting woman that I am? How do I show up, which we talked about? And so that's what I'm going to encourage you to explore after watching and listening to this, what I'm calling video podcast,
Okay.
because I think that that's going to be key in your journey to asking and receiving to become what we call around here a financially free fabpreneur.
Awesome. And is there an invite for the Thursday for the audience?
Oh my goodness, yes, I forgot. So this Thursday, thank you for reminding me. You're awesome. So yes, I forgot.
Okay.
And that is, so actually I have a few things. Thank you so much. We've gone way over time, but that's okay because I was like chilling with you. But we've gone way
Yeah,
over
you have
time.
an event on the 17th also, right?
Yes, so let me go ahead and share these pages here, and it'll make us smaller here on the side. Let's see. Where is this?
Okay.
Let me put us here. No,
Oh,
let me
cute.
put us here on the side. No, I took you out.
Okay.
Here on the side. Okay, there we are. Okay, so first of all, the Ask and Receive Challenge. This is the last week that we're having it before the end of the year. That's one thing I wanted to share. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
The next thing that I wanted to share, let's see if I have it here because I had all these pages here. This Thursday at 4 o'clock, we're having our last Fabpreneurs Community Connections meeting for the year 2025 because I'm going on vacation the remaining of the year. And so I'm going to put there our little, let me share this here, event here. I don't know why I called it little, but it's our event that you can come and check it out. Show on screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat so that anyone watching the live or the replay can check it out. So you go to evds.com, fab, fabpreneurs dash community connections. And I haven't updated the page since last week we had the graduation, but this is our end of the year, you could call it holiday party, which any ideas that you have, Shari, please let me know because I want to make
Okay.
sure that we end the year with a powerful, last gathering. And this is a virtual gathering where you can come and share your business. And also, we're going to be talking about real briefly about what I have planned for 2026. And I'll tell you that every year around March 8th for International Women's Day, we have a celebration. And this year we're going to do a bigger event like Money Fest. And so if you're a heart-centered female entrepreneur that wants to collaborate and or speak at the event, make sure that you join us this Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, because I'm going to be sharing the details on how you can collaborate with that event. We have a little bit less than 90 days for that, and or how you could become a speaker during that event. So if that is an interest in yours, then I ask you to show up on Thursday, because I'm going to be going through that. And last but not least, my intention is to launch my book on that time. So if you would like to be in our case study for my book coming up on March 8th, which is my hope, on or about that time, I know that I'm kind of cutting it close, then email me or visit our page that you want to participate as a case study for that chapter that I'm writing. I'm writing a chapter of case studies. And some of you may know that the Ask and Receive Challenge, I wrote a whole chapter on the Ask and Receive Challenge participants and what happened as a result. And now I want to write another chapter on what happens when you release the idea that your strategy is not working, or you're not good at sales, or you don't have a good marketing plan, and instead work more on aligning your energy and your mindset so that you can manifest more money. And if you want to participate in that, or if you know of anyone who would be a great case study, please make sure that you show up on Thursday, because I'm going to be speaking about them.
Nice. Okay.
And that's it, Shari. We've got way over time, and I'm so grateful for your time. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Yay!
Yes.
And bring the little toy on Thursday and come ready.
I found a hat too.
Yeah, your Santa hat. Yeah, bring your
It's
Santa
free.
hat. I love it. I love it. Okay, my dear. So thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank
I
you,
look forward
and
to
thanks for
hearing
all
more
those that are
about you.
watching. Yes.
Yes,
Mwah.
yes. And make sure that that you visit, say it again, your website, so people know.
RawsomeLivingLLC.com. So Rawsome.
AwesomeLivingLLC.com. Please connect with Shari online. And please, if you missed any of it, come connect with her virtually on Thursday at 4 p.m.
And yeah, join us on Thursday.
Thank you
Okay.
so
Have
much.
a
Many
wonderful day.
blessings. Yay, you too. Bye for now.
Bye for
Bye.
now.
Bye.